Good morning, class. Mr. Abbott here, your sixth grade news anchor, bringing you the latest on natural disasters. Today, we're diving into the depths of sinkholes, those mysterious ground-swallowing holes that can appear out of nowhere. Our science whiz, Mr. Abbott 2, is back to unravel the science behind these geological enigmas. Brace yourselves for the truth behind sinkhole formation and the terrifying potential. Over to you, Mr. Abbott 2. Thanks, Mr. Abbott. Sinkholes are like giant potholes in the ground. They form when water dissolves underlying rocks, creating a cavity that eventually collapses. Think of a hollowed out cookie that can't hold the weight above it anymore. That's kind of how sinkholes happen. Sinkholes can be anywhere from a few feet to hundreds of feet wide. They can be shallow or deep enough to swallow entire buildings, and they can happen anywhere, even in your own backyard. So, where do sinkholes happen? Sinkholes are most common in areas with karst topography. Karst is a landscape formed by the dissolving rocks like limestone and dolomite. These rocks are like natural sponges, allowing water to seep through and create underground cavities. Sinkholes are especially common in Florida, where there are over 10,000 of them, but they can also be found in other parts of the United States, as well as in Mexico, China, and many other countries. But how do scientists forecast and predict those sinkholes? Scientists use a variety of methods to forecast and predict sinkholes. They look for signs of ground instability, such as cracks, depressions, or changes in water drainage patterns. They also use ground-penetrating radar to map underground cavities. Predicting sinkholes exactly is still a challenge, but scientists are getting better at identifying areas where sinkholes are more likely to occur. This helps communities prepare for potential sinkhole hazards. How can sinkholes be prevented or mitigated? Preventing sinkholes is tricky because they're often caused by natural processes that we can't control. But there are things we can do to mitigate the risk of sinkhole damage. One important thing is to manage water resources carefully. Overpumping groundwater can weaken the underlying rocks and increase the risk of natural disasters. It also highlighted the importance of sinkhole prevention and preparedness. Now, we're going to head out to the field to other Mr. Abbott so he can give us a survivor's account of a sinkhole. Other Mr. Abbott, over to you. Thanks, Mr. Abbott, or Mr. Abbott 2. The Guatemala City sinkhole serves as a chilling reminder of the power of sinkholes to alter lives in an instant. We've heard from our science expert about the science behind these geological hazards, but now let's hear from someone who's experienced it firsthand. Today we have with us a survivor of the sinkhole, Mr. Abbott 3. Can you tell us about your experience? Yes, it was a terrifying experience. I was driving home from work when I suddenly felt the ground drop beneath me. My car started to tilt and I knew something was very wrong. I managed to crawl out of my car just before it was swallowed by the sinkhole. I was incredibly lucky, but I also learned a valuable lesson that day. Always be aware of your surroundings and be prepared for anything. Such a harrowing story. I'm glad you're okay. All right, back to you, Mr. Abbott. Thanks. We just explored a fascinating and sometimes frightening world of sinkholes, but our journey to natural disasters does not end there. Today we'll be diving into the realm of data, using student surveys to uncover interesting patterns and insights about natural disasters and their impact on our communities. Have you ever found yourself at the bottom of a sinkhole, trying desperately to get out? If so, then you need the Sinkhole Saver. This revolutionary new tool is just what you need on those pesky days you happen to fall into one of nature's most notorious traps. Once you purchase the Sinkhole Saver, it will follow you around wherever you go, flying 20 or 30 feet above you at all times. When the inevitable does incur, the Sinkhole Saver goes into action, dropping a life-saving tether and pulling you up to safety. Get yours today wherever life-saving sinkhole products are sold. And that's it for Mr. Abbott News. Be prepared for those sinkholes. Keep an eye out. Good luck, stay safe,